Meeting for Tuesday, December 10th, 2024 will come to order. Please join me in silencing our cell phones. Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Ashley?
Here.
Commissioner McGurk?
Here.
Vice Mayor Martin?
Here.
Mayor Cleveland?
Here.
Commissioner Perrine is absent. There will need to be a vote for the...
You'll need a vote. Okay, we'll get that going. After the invocation, do you need it now?
You could do that now if you'd like.
Okay.
Motion.
I'd entertain a motion to excuse Commissioner Perrine.
I'll make that motion.
The motion,
Second.
and a second. Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner McGurk?
Yes.
Commissioner Ashley?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Martin?
Yes.
Mayor Cleveland?
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, here we go. Police Chaplain Bill Kitchen will deliver the invocation. Please rise and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Father, I thank you right now for what season it is. It is a season of hope for all of us. Whatever our faith is, December is a month of hope. Thank you for the people who are up here and for the people who are back here who care enough about their community. Thank you. I pray a special blessing on our first responders, as always. They are our front line. Protect them. Give them peace. Give them your presence for them and their families. I pray this. Amen.
And now, Miss Linda Henline, the founder and chief executive of Keep NSB Clean, has recovered from the parade cleanup and will deliver the Pledge of Allegiance, leading us together. Linda?
Thank you, Mayor. Shall we? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Please be seated. Mr. City Manager, any changes to the agenda, sir?
Yes, sir, just a couple of items. I would like to add an item to the agenda, make it 7K, and I provided this item to you earlier. This is an opioid abatement grant fund award in the amount of $131,000 for the purchase of hands-free CPR devices for EMS and fire vehicles.
Perfect, you're going to add that, and we've all received a hard copy paper briefing of that.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much.
Also, I would like to note, I received a number of questions regarding item 7F, which is the 24-25 Homeless and Disadvantaged Grant Fund Awards. So I would like to move that item from the consent agenda and just make it item 8A under administrative items, and Ms. Bergeron will update you on that item.
Excellent. Thank you, sir. Appreciate that.
That's all I have. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so very much. Welcome one and all to your city's business meeting. We're delighted you're here. Happy holidays, it's Merry Christmas and Happy Hanukkah to each of you. A bit of sad news. In September, I announced that one of our city volunteers of great standing, Joanna Mahood, had passed. I'm sad to announce that months later, her husband, Wade Mahood, has also passed. So our sympathies go out to the Mahood family. Certainly a wonderful, giving family to the city of New Smyrna Beach. And now, sir, City Manager, your report.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just a couple of items I wanted to update you on at this time. During the November 26th meeting, the last meeting we had a number of public comments regarding the noise ordinance and also about stormwater management and flooding. So just to let everybody know, I have conducted some meetings with various staff about the noise ordinance. We're looking at various possible solutions to some of those issues. We're working to make that right. Also, with respect to stormwater, as you know, we held a public meeting on December the 3rd. It was very well attended. I think we had close to 200 people there. The meeting lasted for 3+ hours. We got an update on our stormwater master plan and a number of the stormwater projects that we're currently undertaking or that are in design. So we are continuing to make stormwater and flooding a priority, and stay tuned for what's happening there. And you can check our website. There is a page dedicated to stormwater with updates. Also wanted to note that I had received some correspondence from a city resident regarding the smoking ordinance and some concerns about our smoking ordinance. I'm working with the city attorney's office with respect to that, and expect to have something to discuss with you at a meeting in early next year. Finally, wanted to note, I think the word is well out on this, but did receive a notice of resignation from our police chief. He'll be leaving as effective March 1st in pursuit of other opportunities, and want everybody to know that we're working diligently along with the chief to find the best possible replacement that we can. Thank you, sir.
Appreciate that. That's all big news. I appreciate the word. So now we're on to the favorite part of the commission. It's called public participation. If you have some insight you'd like to share with the commission, if you have a city member that you see performing in an exceptional way you'd like to report on, if you have a concern for your neighborhood, anything that's on your mind, this is your monologue opportunity to come up and just tell us something. We won't be answering questions, but we're excited to hear what you have to say. When you come up, you'll have 3 minutes. You'll see the green light come on, and then at 1 minute to go, you'll see the yellow light come on, and then you'll need to be done when the red light comes on. So when you come forward, just for the record and for our city clerk, your name and address for the file, if you don't mind. With that, public participation is now open. Yes, ma'am.
Good evening. My name is Rachel Riley. I emailed you all a copy of this, but I live at 2614 Crestwood Avenue. My wife spoke a couple months ago about some flooding issues that we have on our street and on our property. I would like to say that this is not a new flooding concern or an issue, and I'm speaking to you today after years and decades of flooding issues and concerns that my neighbors have come to the city with, and now so am I. We were made aware that our house had some water intrusion during Hurricane Ian when we purchased our property, but it seems that that wasn't the start of our issues. After Hurricane Milton, I reached out to City Engineer Jesse Myers, since he was our point of contact for our fence that we had installed, so the city still had access to a drain that runs through our property into our creek that feeds out into Turnbull Bay. To briefly remind you, our detached garage had over 2 feet of water inside, and our house garage had 2 to 3 inches of water in it. My 4-year-old daughter and I had to pee and poop in buckets because our toilets were not working. I had to venture in and out of my house in waist-knee deep water, and our 4-foot chain link fence around our creek area was almost completely underwater. We had standing water on our property and on Crestwood Avenue for days, while Conrad, Sunset, and North Street were clear, except for where the tidal gate is at Conrad and Sunset. Jesse informed us that he had talked to 2 previous homeowners. Sorry, I didn't mean to push that. The Jankowskis and the Clarks, and he's known about the flooding issues not only on our street, but our property as well. He told us, and I quote, "The collection basin for that area is rather isolated to that just around you." Let me skip through some of this because I'm running out of time. Our creek dead ends into Turnbull Bay, and there's swells and ditches that have not been maintained. After we talked to Jesse, we have spoken with Kyle, and he knew about all of the previous issues. Again, he talked to all 3 of the previous homeowners, and issues with our neighbors building 2 to 3 feet above our foundation. Turnbull Bay backs up and overflows into our property. The city did an improvement project in 2017, probably completed in 2018, that dumped more water into our property even after Kyle and Jesse knew of how much our property and our street flooded. And then our neighbor to the north of us was allowed to wall off their backyard. So we are an island, and my neighbors and I want something done because nothing's being done.
Thank you, ma'am. Appreciate your comments. Evening, Dr. Herman.
Good evening, Mayor, City Commission staff. Happy holidays. I'm glad you mentioned Wade Mahood's passing. Wade, as described by former Commissioner Randy Hartman, is what he calls him, a citizen hero. Wade, I don't know how many years he's been involved or was involved with the code board, but well over 15, because when I moved here, he was knee-deep in it. Wade was an original member of Smart Growth, which was a group of citizens that worked very closely with the then planning department in working on the neighborhood plan of the 24 neighborhoods. And we were going from neighborhood to neighborhood to set vision goals. And Wade was instrumental in working through some of the snags and coming up with some pretty good suggestions for the historic West Side, for Coronado Island, and for Beachside. In his later years, when he was stricken with some fairly serious health issues, Wade was always in the background. You could call Wade or drop him an email, and within 3 minutes, he had a clarification of something legal or clarification of where it was in the land development regulations. He was an amazing advocate for information, and I think he's one of those citizens that he wasn't out there in front, but he was behind so many good things. And the thing that I think was so great about him was how ethical he was and how straight he was when he didn't agree with something that he thought was not going right for the city. So I'm glad you commended him and, of course, his wife as well. But he truly was, I think, a citizen's hero. My next comment's kind of linked to that, and that is one of his big concerns was Central Beach, because he lived right in the middle of Central Beach. I do believe we're losing the battle in Central Beach. The balance between residential and commercial is really, I don't know if it's even reversible. So I do hope we can look at how we can begin to make it as best as we can, because many streets now are almost 80% rental properties. So, and I know he was very concerned about that and would be very pleased if we gave it a good look. And the last thing, I'd like to compliment the city on the Christmas lights. They're really beautiful and do lift the spirits. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate your comments. Anyone else?
Good evening, Mayor, Commissioners. Tim Foldy, 473 White Coral Lane. 62 years old. I have been a school teacher, college professor, pastor for years in this community, lived here since '96, been involved in all kinds of things, but I can tell you that I have never had my eyes opened to what an amazing group of people we have in this city as when I served recently on the New Smyrna Beach Housing Authority as a commissioner. Unfortunately, I had to resign that for some personal conflicts next year. But I can tell you that there are hundreds of people in dozens of organizations that work in an amazing partnership, unlike I've ever seen, between churches, government, nonprofit, corporations, to meet the needs of the people that are at the most disadvantaged in a challenging season of their life. You would just be amazed at how these people, who obviously do not do it for money, don't do it for power, for position, or prestige, but just good people of our city. You know, we all complain about the people that come over on the weekend and crowd the beaches and all the growth and all, all that kind of stuff. But as a longtime resident, having just left that commission, I thought it was important just to be able to say publicly that there is an amazing network of people doing incredible things for the homeless, for battered women. We have a family self-sufficiency coordinator that works with over 20 partners in Volusia County to help families become self-sufficient and accomplish education goals and childcare and employment opportunities. There's God's Bathhouse, where the homeless can get showers. There's Our Lady Star of the Sea Church, which has been amazing at what they've done with the commission and other ministries and nonprofits. There's transitional housing programs that help people transition out of homelessness and motels and living in tents to being able to find permanent housing. Right now, over 750 men, women, and children have housing that would not otherwise have it because of the commission and the partners that they work with. School backpacks, Toys for Tots, Thanksgiving bags, Christmas bags, so many things going on that I had no idea for all of the years that I had in public service as a pastor and as a teacher. But until I had a chance to work alongside Teresa Pope, all of her employees, the various organizations that they partner with, not just Habitat for Humanity, but others, it's a remarkable story. And my eyes were opened. I had no idea that so many good things were happening in our city, and I thought it was important because I didn't know, and it's good to know good things. You hear so much bad news, right, as people work across political lines and economic lines. So I just want to take a moment as I leave that commission just to share that good news with you.
Thank you, Preacher. Appreciate that. Best of luck to you and Margie on your travels. Before Martin Billings talks, that person, Teresa Pope, the president and CEO of the Housing Authority, is in the room. Teresa, please stand and be recognized. Good evening, Mr. Billings.
Good evening, Mayor. Mark Billings, 128 Mangrove Estate Circle in New Smyrna Beach. First, I want to thank you for your service to our community. My colleague, Brittany Arnold, will be sharing a little bit of the nature of why we're here tonight. But, Mayor, you opened the door. You stole a little of my thunder, but that's okay. You're the mayor. Behind me tonight, we have some folks that have done remarkable work. I want to start again and echo my colleague, Teresa Pope, who's a strong ally and a thought partner with me. Also in the room tonight is DJ Lebo, who serves on the Volusia County Commission Affordable Housing Advisory Committee with me. She's served on this. I've been on there north of 4 years, so I don't know how long you've been on there, a long time. She's here this evening. I have a number of my board members and former board members. Dr. Long is here. Reverend Neil Coates is here. We also have the state Habitat board member, former board member here, Pam Eisen is here tonight, and also the reigning New Smyrna Beach Volunteer of the Year and his wife, Barbara Jack and Barbara Travis. So I want to thank them for being here in support. I want to thank you all for your leadership, and I'm going to be quiet now and allow my colleague to speak.
Thank you all. Brittany Arnold, 448 Oliver Drive. I just wanted to say thank you all for your consideration of our critical care repair program for the NSV Disadvantaged Grant. It is one of my favorite programs, and we've used previous funding to do 11 repairs of New Smyrna Beach residents, and those have been ranging from tub to shower conversions so that they stay living in their home for longer periods of time, as well as termite tenting, roofing repair, windows, a number of things to allow them to stay in their homes for a long period of time. So that funding is really important to our mission with that. And since Hurricane Ian, we've completed over 125 repairs through our 3 repair programs. So that's really impactful for our Southeast Volusia community. And I just wanted to say thank you again for your consideration of that funding.
Thanks, Brittany. Thank you, Mark. Appreciate your comments. Good evening, ma'am.
Hi. Welcome, Mr. Ashley.
Thank you.
I'm Sharika Morris, 819 Cherry Street. I'm just going to read what I wrote here. Hello, my name is Shy Morris, founder of the Peace Project Incorporated, formerly known as Peace Arts. Peace is a wonderful acronym that means positive education and creative expressions. Our organization brings educational experiences creatively to youth, teens, and young adults in our local community. For over a decade, we provided services to the homeless and disadvantaged populations because I was once without a home and still living and serving in our disadvantaged populations. We are only disadvantaged due to our lack of advantages presented to our communities. I spent decades studying ways to bring advantages to our younger demographics. Currently, there are no services for enrichment of our teens and young adult populations. Connecting them to our aging populations would be an amazing start. We are looking forward to our programs to put them in leadership roles because they are our future. Our Bikes to Baskets program would help boost membership of the food pantry while providing food donations and a teen volunteer league to help gather donations for the pantry. The teens would deliver the shopping list called in by the elderly, medically needed, or physically disadvantaged. Building relationships and connecting communities are our #1 goals. Thank you for your support over the years. Sorry, I got to get off my letter, but I just wanted to personally say thank you for helping me build my organization and all of the things that I've gone through over the years with the help of the City of New Smyrna Beach and all of you sitting up here. It has really made me a stronger person, and it's given me the tools that I need to continue to get back to the community. So thank you again for your consideration for this grant, and I'm looking forward to doing great things in '25.
Thank you, Shai, for your work and your outreach. Appreciate your remarks. Hello, Joe.
Good evening, Joe Dluback, 3587 Casalta Circle. I want to touch on 3 quick things. With respect to the parking study presentation that was given, well presented. At the end, though, was the introduction of a side subject called the parking garage. It turns out that the media, both television and newspapers, have headlines blasting City Commission looking at parking garages. I don't think that's the City's Commission intent, but that in fact is what the public is hearing. Secondly, with respect to the Stormwater Master Plan, certainly a well-attended presentation, and we thank for that. A little bit still lacking west of 95, what I call the Wild West. Venetian Bay, for example, does have HOA responsible for the ditches and canals on its property. Unfortunately, it doesn't end there. Venetian Bay connects to Samsula, which connects to Spruce Creek, and then every element of government is involved, yet the study does not recognize that. Just wanted to mention that we've been looking and attending some of the sessions at the county level, and there is an intent there to look at establishing a 12-month moratorium for construction. We're still not sure what that covers, but keep that in mind. Lastly, one of the items that came up as discussion at the county council having to do with annexation. There was a comment made that the county council will reject the project only to have the developer approach the city to get annexed into the city, and then the city approved what the city council previously rejected. And there seems to be kind of a mismatch about, I'm not sure they're thinking of the city as a bit of a hindrance, but it at least seems to call for more cooperation between each of you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
The last point is that landowners have rights, but homeowners do too. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate your remarks. Evening, Cindy.
Good evening. Cindy Snuzak, 512 Yukon. I'm just going to summarize the comments I sent you in an email earlier today. I'm disappointed that we're down one commissioner tonight, but my comments are around item D of the consent agenda. And I ask that you give consideration to disapproving the proposed award and instead repost the RFP for special magistrate services for code compliance. Sorry. There was only one response to the RFP, so that suggests that perhaps there needs to be a broader net cast. We're losing a very good special magistrate, and she's well deserved for the retirement she's going to be taking. But the response from Cobb Cole appears to miss several key requirements that are stated in the city's own RFP. So we know Cobb Cole is very active in New Smyrna Beach, representing clients on land use and permitting issues. They did disclose in their response, and that was much appreciated, the conflict of interest that would occur because of the representation with the entity at the airport. But just as important as an actual conflict of interest is any appearance of a conflict of interest. And the appearance of a conflict of interest, I think, is what drove their putting a conditional item in the RFP response, which is asking that the city agree to any current or future representation by Cobb Cole will not be considered a potential conflict of interest. So that seems extraordinary to me. It further suggests that the city should have a special procedure in place to designate a conflict counsel should, and if and when or should that occur. I don't know why we'd want to go through that trouble and expense, but again, when you do not have robust responses to an RFP, it is perfectly reasonable to reject all responses and put it out again. There are several qualifications that are not met in the RFP, unless I've missed them, and you can point them out to me. But in section 3C on page 6, the 5th bullet of minimum qualifications states very clearly that it's more important that experience as a special magistrate is part of the qualifications submitted. Also, there's another bullet in section 5D on page 20 that the respondent identify all current and or previous municipal, county, or local government agencies to which they have provided legal service representations or advice. No such proven references checked out when one of the raters called those references. So for those reasons alone, I ask that you reject this proposal.
Thank you, ma'am. Appreciate your comments. Anyone else for public participation? All right. DJ, are you going to speak or is Reef going to speak?
Hopefully just me. Reef is not supposed to speak in public meetings. So good afternoon or good evening. My name is DJ Lebo. I'm with the Early Learning Coalition, and I just wanted to echo quite a few others' appreciation for your consideration tonight for the, it's called the Homeless and Disadvantaged Grant Funds Awards. I really do think that what happens in New Smyrna Beach is unique. One of the things that I work hard on in our community is collaboration, and I think in Teresa you have a gem. She works hard to collaborate with several others. One of the things she does is she will email and email and email and call and just really work hard to collaborate. She works hard to get everyone to the table. She works hard to make sure that there are lots of people available for those in need, and I think that is such a unique talent, and she does it in a kind way. She never makes you feel burdened by it, and she never makes you feel unwelcome. So it is one of those rare gifts that you have in this area, and I really think you should be thankful for that. I also think that Mark is one of those rare gifts. I sit with him, as he said, on the AHAC group, which is the county group, and he always has something to bring, and he never forgets about New Smyrna Beach. So I think you're very lucky to have that perspective always. So thank you for thinking of us. I look forward to any questions you may have as you've moved it to 8A. So thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Appreciate your remarks.
Good evening.
Good evening, ma'am.
Mayor, Commission, Merry Christmas. First, I'd like to thank our former commissioner, Tim Foldy, for his wonderful remarks about the Housing Authority board, staff, and myself. Thank you, Mr. Tim. We appreciate your service to us. I would also like to thank Mark from Habitat for Humanity. Habitat for Humanity is also one of our partners that wasn't mentioned tonight. We have housed with our partnership about a dozen families from affordable rental housing into Habitat home ownership over the last few years. So without that partnership and that memorandum of agreement with Habitat, that wouldn't be possible. With the homeless grant tonight, I would like to thank you for the opportunity for that grant. We provide senior food bags and homeless food bags for food insecurity. Our homeless, if they have Section 8 vouchers, they get about $20 a month in food stamps. You know, with the price of eggs, you're probably getting a gallon of milk and a dozen eggs for the month. So we work in partnership with God's Table out of First Baptist of Daytona, and they bring us frozen meats every 2 weeks. With the homeless food grant, we subsidize the meats with foods that would make a meal for our seniors and last them through the month. And they're allowed to get those food packages every 2 weeks. Our homeless, we provide what Commissioner Martin started as handlebar bags. Wonderful idea. In the summertime, our homeless are riding bikes and it's hot, so we provide water constantly. They can just walk in and get water whenever they want to, a bottle of water. But we also provide like snacks, things to get them to their next meal. So I want to thank the commission and everyone for this opportunity and continuing to support the Housing Authority.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for your comments and especially for your work, Teresa. Evening, ma'am.
Good evening, everyone. I'm sorry that Rob Salazar is not here tonight, but boy, did we have a week last week. Thursday, the girls were out on Canal having a great girls' night out. Friday, we were on Flagler, lighting up Flagler. And on Saturday, the Scooter Babes made their 17th appearance in the Christmas parade. Great job, Leisure Services.
Thank you, ma'am. Appreciate your comments, and we agree. Hi, Holly.
Good evening. My name is Donna Hinkle, and I run Under the Stars Missions out of the Shrine Club in New Smyrna. I've been doing it for several years. Prior to that, I helped run the First United Methodist Community Hot Meal Program for 27 years. So I'm very adversed in community, very involved in the community, behind the scenes and down in the trenches, as they call it. We applied for your grant, and we were one of the people that was, I guess, awarded or whatever to be considered for the grant. We feed approximately, in New Smyrna, between the area churches, 150 meals, hot meals a day in New Smyrna. Sometimes that's the only meal these people get in the day, 24-hour period. Now, they might get little snacks and things, but I'm talking about a hot meal. And we just want to thank you for considering us for the grant. Now, on my other side is Ruth, which could not be here. She runs Mary Martha Missions out of the same building and was considered also for the grant. And she said, you know, we give clothing, pillows, blankets, cold weather. We do the blankets and the coats and the gloves and the scarves. And we actually just had 3,000 socks donated. And see, what we did a few years ago was we run out of gloves. So we were given socks for gloves, and it worked. So we just had that big donation yesterday, actually, to her mission, which was a big, big help. But we just want to thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Appreciate your comments and your work. Anybody else for public participation? Seeing none, public participation is now closed. Thank you very much for that. We'll move on to the consent agenda. Does any member of the commission have a comment about any of the items on the consent agenda? See, yeah?
Just one.
Oh, yeah, sure.
I'm trying to remember the number now. It was for Jason Reeve, just a good job. And I don't have the number now. I think it's probably for the opioid.
K. The add-on is K.
Okay, okay. That's it. Just
Okay.
wanted to say thank you.
Very good.
job.
All right. Is there anyone who would like to pull any of the items, knowing that we have pulled for sure item 7F, which will go into item 8A? Any other items?
7D.
7 Delta. Okay. Anybody else? All right. Seeing none, I'd entertain a motion to approve Alpha Bravo Charlie, Echo Golf Hotel India Juliet, and Kilo.
So moved.
Second.
A motion and a second. Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner McGurk?
Yes.
Commissioner Ashley?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Martin?
Yes.
Mayor Cleveland?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, very good. Let's look at item 7D. And maybe, council, you can warm us up on that. You're probably the most skilled and talented, had your hands all over this. So you heard some of the citizens talk about it, and I know that Commissioner Martin pulled it. Is there some question first, Lisa? Maybe she can answer, or you just want to have her talk about it?
Well, actually, and there was no pre-conferencing, but Cindy Sneedak did reference a lot of my concerns. My biggest one is there's lack of lack of experience, in addition to being so closely tied to the city on so many issues. So my concerns are those two. I do believe we should go out to bid again. I don't think we should make a decision based on one response. And I would hope the rest of the commission would agree.
Appreciate your comments, and we've got your input. We're ready for you, ma'am. Help us out.
So this is actually a code compliance item. The special magistrate who's handled some of their meetings is retiring. The RFP did go out, I believe, in September. It was extended due to the lack of responses. It went out to 2,176 individuals or firms. So 2,175 chose not to respond. So that's where we are. I am familiar with Ms. Gow, and I have no hesitations with her ability to do the job.
I will say
Any
that
other comments from any of my colleagues? We'll do second attack here in just a second. Commissioner McGurk.
Okay, thank you. So during my agenda briefing, I had a couple of the same questions about that. However, considering that it was only one bidder and we have had a pretty extensive reach out in the community in an RFP, I'm not inclined to want to go without a magistrate. Remind me, how long is this RFP for? What is the duration of it?
It's till we terminate.
Okay, so I'm comfortable moving forward tonight, even though I did have many of the same concerns that were brought up tonight. You know, Cobb & Cole is a very popular firm, and many times that they have their attorneys coming before us, and we obviously have some litigation going on with them. I don't mind in the future going out again, but I'm okay with moving forward under the current circumstances. If we want next year to send out another RFP, or if at any time that any of us see anything that raises any question to us individually, we can come back to the commission with it, bring it up, and then see if there's a recommendation to go out for another RFP. I just don't want to get stuck in limbo.
I hear you. If I may.
After everybody else goes, sure.
I'm sorry.
Mr. Ashley, anything? I've got just a few things. Council, can you speak to the appearance, the optics, or the, in fact, ability to have a conflict of interest?
So my analysis of it is it's simply a perceived conflict. It's not an actual conflict. However, being forthright, they have voluntarily said, hey, we won't touch anything that we had anything to do with the development process. So they're proactively saying, we won't even get near the appearance. An appearance is not an actual conflict. So I'm comfortable with the situation, and I will leave it to you all to decide if you all are.
Great. Thank you very much. I think I join Commissioner McGurk in speaking in favor of this, one of, if not the largest law firm in the county, steeped in tradition, maybe 70-year-old firm with amazing judicial prowess, getting themselves into a petty appearance of a conflict of interest between a case that they might have is not a practice that I would imagine they would ever delve into. And that they've already removed themselves from that speaks to the credibility of their organization. So I speak in favor of that. Commissioner Martin.
Some of you know that I served on the Code Compliance Board for quite a while, and was there when the first special magistrate was hired. So we do have a competent code enforcement board, volunteer citizens that can operate in the interim. And the question I would have, that's an extraordinary amount of non-response. Has anybody asked Christine for a recommendation? Because I've been to maybe most of the special magistrate meetings.
Are you talking about Kathy Reichman?
I meant Catherine, yes.
Yes. And she
does
tried
she
to
have-
find replacements within her firm who were willing to do it. They did not. I asked her for other references. She did not have any. One misspoken statement, I said it is for a term of 3 years, which can be renewed for 2 optional 1-year periods. So it's a total of 5 years.
So I'm just wondering if it just seems extraordinary to me that nobody else would be interested, and I'd have to ask why. What
It's
did we
not
do?
this is not a lucrative business to get into.
Okay, and we've been through the judicial. I mean, it's just.
Any other questions?
We have shaken the trees. So their normal rate is $325. They're willing to do it for $200, which is what Port Orange pays their special magistrate. Our existing contract, I believe we pay $170.
And we couldn't even use the Port Orange special magistrate?
Conflict of interest.
Any other questions? Okay, I'd like to entertain a motion for item 7D.
Move to approve.
Have a motion
Second.
and a second. Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner McGurk?
Yes.
Commissioner Ashley?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Martin?
No.
Mayor Cleveland?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. The motion carries. The consent agenda is through. And now let's move to an item we're going to call 8A, consideration of approval of a homeless and disadvantaged grant fund awards for local nonprofits or disadvantaged programs that you've been hearing speakers talk about right up to now. So with that, Director Bergeron, you are up.
Good evening, Mayor and Commissioners. At your request, we wanted to provide you with a little bit of background information about this grant program. I have with me also this evening Ms. Irma Terry, who has been our grant coordinator and has coordinated this grant for several years, so she can also provide any answers that questions you might have. So the history of this program is it was proposed in 2016-2017 fiscal year. The City Commission approved a pilot initiative aimed at offering new services or expanding services for homeless and disadvantaged individuals and families within the city. And it's really just designated for organizations that are 501c3, that are not-for-profits. And it's a very complex and very detailed application process and vetting process through our office. Here's the funding history. We started in the fiscal year 2017 with $25,000. I believe there were 5 recipients that year with up to $5,000 per recipient. And then this year, we were blessed with the approval in the budget of the $50,000 for this grant program. Here's just a list of the eligibility of the services that are provided, but not limited to. So if someone comes up with something fresh and new idea to assist our homeless and our disadvantaged in our communities, then that would be open for review as well. And here are some of the application requirements. As I said, they have to be a 501c3. They have to provide a lot of information, a lot of documentation to support. It's all reviewed very carefully and scrutinized very carefully by our office, by Ms. Irma as well. And then we have a committee that's selected, and all of the eligible or applicants, they do also present to a committee. It's a half-a-day affair, and then those applications and presentations are then graded based on this score sheet, and the points are added up. And this is where the committee came this year with a proposed grants awards for the 2024-2025 fiscal year. And any questions you may have, we would be happy to answer them.
Any questions from my colleagues?
Just a comment.
Sir.
These are the easy ones. Thank you.
Can I just ask a quick question?
Yes, you may.
From Mark. The critical care, is that the same as the Brush for Kindness used to be? I'm just curious. You know, I mean, it's a great program. I was just curious whether it had a name change.
We have Brush for Kindness cover critical repair, disaster recovery, and helping the safe seniors. So it's Brush for Kindness is a caveat to the whole program.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Thank you. Samantha, I've got one. I'm looking on what you've presented there versus what you handed out. Is Kudos on there? Kudos Unhooked?
No.
Go ahead.
Kudos Unhooked was awarded last year. So what you have there in front of you is an actual end-of-the-year report. And then you have a second report that has the current grant recommendations.
It's just concerning to me that is the safety net for our high school children who have no place to sleep and no way to get a place to sleep or get food. Seems like one of the most basic challenges that they were not on here. They submitted for,
No,
they did
sir,
not submit.
No, sir, they did not.
Okay, thank you for that. Appreciate the clarification. Any other questions? Great, thank you guys. I'd entertain a motion now to approve the grant for 2024 for the homeless and disadvantaged.
So moved.
A motion.
Second.
And a second. Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
Vice Mayor Martin,
Yes.
Commissioner McGurk,
Yes.
Commissioner Ashley.
Yes.
Mayor Cleveland.
Yes,
Thank
motion carries. Thank you. Let's move on to Section 9, the ordinances and second readings. We will now conduct a quasi-judicial hearing to consider the adoption of an application number S0824, which, if adopted, would approve the revised St. James Estate final plat, authorizing the mayor to execute a contract for the plat, recording on behalf of the city. Quasi-judicial hearing is now open. I see Chief Planner Gove at the podium. We're ready for your report, sir.
Yes, thank you. This is a revision to a previous plat that you had approved last year in June of 2023. And it's for a 5-acre site for a townhouse development. It's a little easier to see on the aerial. It's on the west side of Mission Road, and it's behind the retention ponds for Kmart, the old Kmart shopping center, and the post office, or what actually is a DOT retention area. So these are previously platted lots, and when it was approved last year, it was for 31 townhouse lots that were 24 feet wide. The owner and applicant found that he wasn't able to market it at that width, and asked to reduce it down to 20 foot, which is the minimum that's allowed in the LDR. There's very minimal changes to the plat or the construction plans that were previously approved last year, except for even the building length. The longest building is 120 feet, but now instead of 5 24-foot wide townhouses in there, there's 6 20-foot wide townhouses. So the end result is the overall density increased by 5 units from 31 to 36, but it's still under the 40 units that are permitted by the R4 zoning. So as I say, this was approved by you last year. We didn't have to review much because the plans didn't change. The landscaping stays the same. There's 2 historic trees in the site that are being preserved. They're using existing platted right-of-ways and will connect to a Mission Road, a county road. All those approvals have been obtained. Basically, you're looking at the interior walls of pretty much the same 7 buildings just being adjusted to be 20-foot wide lots instead of 24.
Thank you, Jeff. That's your report?
Yep.
Okay, very good. Any of my colleagues have any questions? Is the applicant present tonight?
Yes, the applicant's here with his engineer.
Would you like to speak, sir?
Sure, just wanted to offer myself for any questions. For the record, my name is Josh Wells, 340 North Causeway, on behalf of the applicant and owner. We do have the applicant and the engineer here tonight, but as you heard Jeff mention, this is basically a minor revision to a plat that was approved last year. The density did go up a little bit, but we're actually decreasing the overall footprint on the site. We're not making any changes to the underlying zoning. It's within the density limits. It's within the impervious coverage, and the building coverage has actually gone down, although there are more units now. But we're happy to answer any questions you have.
Very good.
Thank you very
Any
much for your
questions
time.
for the applicant's representative? Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. I'd like to hear from the public now. Is there any member of the public who would like to either voice a word in favor or opposed to the project and come forward? You'll be given 3 minutes to speak. Seeing none, public participation is now closed. The quasi-judicial hearing is now closed. Any closing remarks from the city staff? Mr. Gove, anything? Okay, very good. Or the applicant? Very good. Any discussion by my colleagues? Is there a motion to approve application S824?
Move to approve.
There's a motion
Second.
and a second. Madam City Clerk, please call a roll.
Commissioner McGurk?
Yes.
Commissioner Ashley?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Martin?
Yes.
Mayor Cleveland?
Yes,
Thank you.
motion approves. Thank you very much. And now we'll have a public hearing to conduct the consideration of adoption for the following ordinances for annexation of the property located at 158 Spruce Creek. Madam City Attorney, if you'll read ordinance 6324, 6424, 6524 for the second time by title only, please.
Ordinance number 6324, an ordinance of the City of New Smyrna Beach annexing .25 plus or minus acres of property located on the west side of Spruce Street between Woodland Avenue and Pioneer Trail, addressed as 158 Spruce Street, providing for redefining boundaries of the city, designating the property within Commission Zone 1, providing for public hearing, provided for required filings, providing for conflicting ordinances, providing for severability, and providing an effective date. Ordinance number 6424, an ordinance of the City of New Smyrna Beach amending the comprehensive plan, changing the future land use designation of .25 plus or minus acres of property located on the west side of Spruce Street between Woodland Avenue and Pioneer Trail, addressed as 158 Spruce Street, from Volusia County urban medium intensity to city medium density residential, providing for amendment of the associated comprehensive plan maps to show the area incorporated into the city, providing for public hearing, providing for conflicting ordinances, and providing an effective date. Ordinance number 6524, an ordinance of the City of New Smyrna Beach rezoning .25 plus or minus acres of property located on the west side of Spruce Street between Woodland Avenue and Pioneer Trail, addressed as 158 Spruce Street, from Volusia County R4A Urban Single Family Residential Airport Overlay to City R2A Single Family Residential Airport Overlay Zoning District, providing for conflicting ordinances, providing for severability, and providing an effective date.
Thank you, ma'am. Appreciate that. I see Senior Planner Mathan at the podium. Your report, sir.
Yes, sir. So the property owners requested a voluntary annexation, small-scale comprehensive plan amendment and rezoning from Volusia County future land use designation of urban medium intensity and Volusia County zoning designation of R4 urban single-family residential with an A attached for the airport height notification zone to a city future land use designation of medium density residential and a city zoning designation of R2 single-family residential with an A attached for the airport height notification zone. The site contains approximately 0.25 plus or minus acres. It's located on the west side of Spruce Street between Woodland Avenue and Pioneer Trail. At the regular scheduled meeting on October 7th, 2024, the Planning and Zoning Board voted 5-0 to give a positive recommendation to the City Commission to approve the requested overall annexation application. The Planning Department also recommends the City Commission to approve the requested annexation, small-scale comprehensive plan amendment amending the future land use map to city medium-density residential and rezoning to R2 single-family residential with an A attached for the airport height notification zone. And that concludes the summary of the staff report. Subject to any questions that the commission may have.
Thank you, sir. Any questions for our senior planner? Okay, very good. Thank you, Bob. The public hearing is now open. Any citizens wishing to speak in favor or oppose of this, we're happy to hear from you now. Seeing none, public participation is now closed. Any consideration or comments from any of my colleagues? Is there a motion to approve ordinance number 6324?
So moved.
There's a motion.
Second.
And a second. Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner McGurk?
Yes.
Commissioner Ashley?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Martin?
Yes.
Mayor Cleveland?
Yes.
Thank you.
Motion's approved. Is there a motion to approve ordinance 6424?
So moved.
There's a motion and a second. Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Ashley?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Martin?
Yes.
Commissioner McGurk?
Yes.
Mayor Cleveland?
Yes. Thank you very much. Motion carries. Is there a motion to adopt ordinance 6524?
So moved.
Got a motion. Which one do you want to be the second?
I'll be the second.
There we go. Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
I'm sorry, who was the motion maker? Vice Mayor Martin?
Yes.
Commissioner McGurk?
Yes.
Commissioner Ashley?
Yes.
Mayor Cleveland?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Motion is approved. A public hearing will now be conducted. Consider the adoption of the following ordinances for annexation for the property located at 1997 Pioneer Trail. Madam City Attorney, if you'll read ordinance 6624, 6724, 6824 for the second time by title only, please.
Ordinance number 6624, an ordinance of the City of New Smyrna Beach annexing .63 plus or minus acres of property located on the southeast corner of Pioneer Trail and Enterprise Avenue, addressed as 1997 Pioneer Trail, providing for redefining boundaries of the city, designating the property within Commission Zone 1, providing for public hearing, providing for required filings, providing for conflicting ordinances, providing for severability, and providing an effective date. Ordinance number 6724, an ordinance of the City of New Smyrna Beach amending the comprehensive plan, changing the future land use designation of .63 plus or minus acres of property located on the southeast corner of Pioneer Trail and Enterprise Avenue, addressed as 1997 Pioneer Trail, from Volusia County urban medium intensity to city medium density residential, providing for amendment of the associated comprehensive plan maps to show the area incorporated into the city, providing for public hearing, providing for conflicting ordinances, and providing an effective date. Ordinance number 6824, an ordinance of the City of New Smyrna Beach rezoning .63 plus or minus acres of property located on the southeast corner of Pioneer Trail and Enterprise Avenue, addressed as 1997 Pioneer Trail, from Volusia County R4A Urban Single Family Residential Airport Overlay to City R2A Single Family Residential Airport Overlay Zoning District, providing for conflicting ordinances, providing for severability, and providing an effective date.
Thank you, ma'am. Appreciate that. Mr. Mathan, we're ready for your report, sir.
Yes, sir. So the property owners requested a voluntary annexation, small-scale comprehensive plan amendment, and a rezoning from Volusia County future land use designation of urban medium intensity and a Volusia County zoning designation of R4 urban single-family residential with an A attached for the airport height notification zone, to a city future land use designation of medium-density residential and a city zoning designation of R2 single-family residential with an A attached for the airport height notification zone. The site contains approximately 0.63 plus or minus acres. It is located on the southeast corner of Pioneer Trail and Enterprise Avenue. And at the regular scheduled meeting on October 7th, 2024, the Planning and Zoning Board voted 5-0 to give a positive recommendation to the City Commission to approve the requested overall annexation application. And the Planning Department also recommends the City Commission to approve the requested annexation, small-scale comprehensive plan amendment, amending the future land use map to city medium-density residential and rezoning to city R2 single-family residential with an A attached for the airport height notification zone. And that concludes the summary of the staff report. So, any questions the Commission may have?
Thank you. Any questions for the senior planner? Thank you, Bob. Appreciate your report for being here tonight. Public hearing is now open. If there are any citizens who wish to speak on this matter, please come forward and you'll be heard. Seeing none, public participation is now closed. Thank you, Kelly. It's working. Commission will now consider the adoption of each ordinance separately. Is there any discussion on this before we move forward? Okay, very good. Is there a motion to adopt ordinance 6624?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Tie.
Second.
Okay.
All right, very good. Madam City Clerk, call the roll,
Commissioner
please.
McGurk?
Yes.
Commissioner Ashley?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Martin?
Yes.
Mayor Cleveland?
Yes. Ordinance, is there a motion for ordinance 6724, please?
So moved.
Motion
Second.
and a second. Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner McGurk?
Yes.
Commissioner Ashley?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Martin?
Yes.
Mayor Cleveland?
Yes.
Thank you.
And now, if there's a motion for ordinance 6824, please.
So moved.
Motion
Second.
and a second. Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Ashley?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Martin?
Yes.
Commissioner McGurk?
Yes.
Mayor Cleveland?
Yes. Okay. On to ordinances and first readings. And now, Madam City Attorney, if you'll read the following ordinances for the first time by title only, please. The second reading and public hearing will be conducted January 14th, 2025.
Ordinance number 5524, an ordinance of the City of New Smyrna Beach amending the land development regulations, amending Article 3, Administration and Enforcement, Section 30105, City Manager, Section 302, Planning and Zoning Board, Section 30203, City Commission, Section 30505, Variance, and amending Article 11, Site Plan Approval, Section 1103, Approval Process, to clarify appeal processes, providing for codification, providing for public hearing, providing for conflicting ordinances, providing for severability, and providing an effective date. Second reading and public hearing will be January 14th, 2025. Ordinance number 6124, an ordinance of the City of New Smyrna Beach amending the Code of Ordinances, amending Chapter 2, Aviation, Section 2297, Airport Noise Impact Zone and Regulations to clarify appeal processes, providing for codification, providing for public hearings, providing for conflicting ordinances, providing for severability, and providing an effective date. Second reading and public hearing will be January 14th, 2025. Ordinance number 6924, an ordinance of the City of New Smyrna Beach, amending the City of New Smyrna Beach Police Officers Retirement Plan, amending Article 9, Administration of the Plan by adding a Section 9.06, Pension Board Meetings, Attendance at Meetings, providing for severability of provisions, repealing all ordinances in conflict herewith, and providing an effective date. Second reading and public hearing will be January 14th, 2025. Ordinance number 7024, an ordinance of the City of New Smyrna Beach amending the Code of Ordinances, amending Chapter 2, Administration, Section 2-51, Time and Place, to change the July recess month to June, providing for codification, providing for public hearing, providing for conflicting ordinances, providing for severability, and providing an effective date. Second reading and public hearing will be January 14th, 2025.
Thank you, ma'am. Appreciate that. We'll look forward to hearing it again in January. On to boards and commissions. Madam City Clerk, your report, ma'am.
Good evening, Commission. We have a vacancy on the Housing Authority that was previously filled by Tim Foldy, who spoke tonight. He was serving until August 31st, 2025, so he still had a few months left. We do have an applicant per Florida State Statute 421.05. The mayor, with the approval of the governing body, shall make the appointment. There are two applicants, Elizabeth Bell and Michelle Davis. So I'm looking for a motion, Mayor, if you have somebody you'd like to nominate to appoint.
I do. I've had considerable conversations with both candidate Michelle Davis and candidate Elizabeth Bell. I've had consultation with the existing Housing Authority president and members of her board. Therefore, I'd like to nominate Michelle Davis with qualifications to serve in this position to fill out the remainder of Reverend Foley's time and the next term, her 4-year term, expiring August 31st, 2029. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, a motion and a second. Any questions for me? Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
Vice Mayor Martin?
Yes.
Commissioner McGurk?
Yes.
Commissioner Ashley?
Yes.
Mayor Cleveland?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, and thank you to both Elizabeth Bell for stepping forward and Michelle Davis. Ms. Davis, the City Clerk's office will be in touch and give you official notification. Thank you for wanting to serve your city. Okay, on to reports. Commissioner Martin.
Only like to say that I know both of the women, Michelle Davis and Elizabeth Bell, and I knew that whoever was selected would be wonderful. They're both good, good people. And happy holidays to all.
Very good. Commissioner Ashley.
Merry Christmas, happy holidays, happy Hanukkah to everybody.
Commissioner McGurk.
Just wanted to give a shout out to the police department and the fire department and the leisure services department on an awesome, fantastic Christmas parade. It was another amazing year. It was a great turnout. And again, in terms of safety and keeping everybody safe and putting up with all of the craziness that goes on behind the scenes. Thank you, Chief. And Billy Craps, great job stepping in for Sean. Just a great overall experience. One of the great things I love about this town every year. So with that, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Holidays to everybody. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. Echo the comments from my colleagues about this season, and you'll see some gifts up here. It's our tradition and custom to exchange gifts to every member that sits up on the dais. It's a very nice tradition, demonstrating the civility of our organization. At the end of our discourse, we do come together in the name of New Smyrna Beach, and that's a proud thing for us to uphold. City Manager, I can't thank you enough for putting together the flooding and the parking conversations, a robust meeting on both. I think it would not be inappropriate to hear twice monthly about how we're progressing, lest anyone think we've gone to sleep and it's not progressing. I know how hard you're working, but I'd like the citizens to all know that. I'd love to see those reports come regularly in the public's ear, if you don't mind, sir. To Director Salazar for running the most amazing leisure services organization. You heard one of our residents speak about all the different things, whether you're on Canal or Flagler or in the parade or any of the other activities that are going on. New Smyrna Beach is the place to be, and that's largely driven by Rob Salazar. Thank you, Rob. You even heard some upgrades, the parade. Let's talk about the parade for a second. 82 entries in the parade, not counting we who were in vehicles, all separate vehicles, so close to 90-some vehicles in the parade. I want to commend Rob's deputy, Michelle, for organizing and putting some structure behind what had not had it before. I think those improvements are good. The consideration of moving the time up has been considered. I think you'll see a change there next year, so we'll complete in daylight hours. I think that's a safety consideration, as well as a consideration of those who work so hard to make their floats beautiful and have them be able to be seen. So well done. To Irma Terry, to her work to do an innovative thing, to cover and commentate the parade from start to finish and stream it live. That's a great innovation. Thank you very much for doing that. Lastly, police department and the fire department for making a great show, keeping everybody safe. There are no injuries, no incidents, and despite the scourge of our police chief of throwing candy. We've managed not to damage too many. Although I will tell you that Irma Terry on the second floor of the Chamber of Commerce was hit in the forehead with a box of Zots. So somebody had a good arm, and I don't know how they got it, but she was worried about her glasses being broken. But she's in good shape. You saw her tonight, so she's on the mend, and life will be good. I'd say that in jest, but in all seriousness, our police chief's departure does not go down easily. Eric, you have changed the tenor of that organization and this city. You know that your city is behind you. Both the staff and this commission and myself are behind what you have done to change this town. My hope is that your fingerprints will be all over your relief, and I think Mr. Cowper is depending on you to help us get there. We look forward to continuing in the spirit and vein that you have started, and we look forward to seeing you, Don, and the kids remain residents in New Smyrna for a very long time, even though this career opportunity change after your 27 years of public service at a government wage, getting an opportunity to go to the private sector is well deserved. Congratulations, my friend. Anything else? Yes. Madam City Clerk, your report, ma'am. Any comments?
No report, just happy
Thank you, ma'am.
holidays.
Madam City Attorney.
Just wanted to also add on, Tracy London was co-host with Irma, and she did a fantastic job as well. So she's in my department, so I have to give her a shout out. Yeah.
Okay, thank you for spurring me away on that.
City Attorney's report. About a month ago, I started talking to you all about charter review. So the charter review provision, it technically says 2026, but there's nothing that prevents us from doing it early. So I had planted the seed to let you all think about if there's a preference for doing a 2025 special election or waiting till the 2026 general election. The cost for a special election, it's actually cheaper to have an in-person election by $850, but it's about $48,000. So the mail-in ballots are actually more expensive due to the postage. So I'll be asking you in a minute. Also, I reached out to Lynn Tipton, who's with Florida League of Cities, who knows she does all these charter reviews, and asked her for names of facilitators. I got 3 names. They're each going to submit a proposal. Gave them a deadline of January 15th in case you guys want to approve that or select somebody for the January 28th meeting. As for the board appointments, you all can serve as yourselves. You can appoint citizens. So potentially depending on whether you choose 2025 or 2026 may dictate, when we bring the establishment of the board to you. But it could go as early as January 14th. And appointments either the 14th or the 28th. So what's the feedback on special election versus general?
How much of this, here I thought we were going to get off easy, and I've had a bet with Mr. Cowper I'm going to lose now.
He told me to bring it up.
Yeah, no, that's good. He holds more of the cards than I do. Okay, so you'd like some kind of direction tonight. Okay, very good. While we're all thinking about it, I'll go to the guy who's fast on his feet and has been here longer than all of us. Commissioner McGurk, what's the wisdom on this there, pal?
Well, geez, I'll tell you, I hadn't thought about it, so I'm not sure I'm going to have much wisdom on that on the fly here. I don't like to incur an expense unnecessarily, roughly $50,000. That's a lot of money for something that there's not necessarily any reason why we can't, but do it in do it with the midterm elections. But I want to reserve that because I want to get some time to think about that. I think, to me, it's something I want to digest, kick around a little bit before I kind of really give any direction. I think you're talking about this January.
Yes.
You were talking, yeah. So
if you're interested in 2025, we would need to kick off right away in January.
Well,
with establishing the board, the appointments, and selecting a facilitator.
Yeah, there's a lot of discussion. As you point out, we can be on it, we can appoint people. I would like, at least for me, to have some time over the holidays, and I can certainly be here to give some direction or opinion on the first meeting in January. So we can jump into it if we need to. But right now, I kind of want to digest it a little bit and kick it around.
Thank you, sir. Commissioner Martin.
Now, I served on the last Charter Review Board, and it was during COVID, and it was rushed, and it was long overdue. And so I hoped that the next time that the Charter Review would come up, that we would select a board early in the game and not turn it into a crisis, to be able to have people think about it reasonably. Our facilitator, we had 11 members of the Charter Review Committee, and our facilitator did more of telling us that we had a consensus than actually really discussing it with us. And so I would really like to see a smaller group of concerned citizens have the chance to review the charter, think about it, discuss it, what's working, what's not working, and let them do a reasonable thought process on it, and then have it on the regular ballot in 2026. That's my preference.
Commissioner Ashley.
Is there a sense of urgency about either doing it or not doing it? Is it a preference? Is it, are there defects that we need to correct? I mean, anything we need to change?
So just for clarification, you have a big election cycle. You have no election cycle in 25.
Okay.
You have an election cycle in 26. If you don't decide till 26, it doesn't go into effect till 28.
That seems like a sense of urgency to me.
I'm not sure it's a sense of urgency, but it is, if you don't do it in 25, anything you decide in 26 will not be effective till 28. So it goes way down the road. I personally would favor pulling it up. As Commissioner Martin says, if we get the whole year to do it, we don't rush through it, we can pull that off.
That sounds sensible to me.
No, I meant having it on the regular election in 26.
Yeah, I don't favor that. So, anybody else?
Can we get some clarification on, Mayor, what are you just talking about, where if we have it in 26, it would not go into effect until 28?
So there's different sections of our charter. One of them is in elections. We made some big changes from the old charter to the new charter in terms of requiring a primary and a general, instead of like if somebody blows it away in the primary, they still had to go to the general election. So that's an example of something that if you wait for 26, you're still going to have to deal with that issue in 2026, and you wouldn't reap the benefit of that until 2028.
We're the only city in the county that does our elections like we do them, where if you blow it away in the primary over 50%, you would be done.
Yeah, I was opposed to that change, and unfortunately, it still went through. That was, in my opinion, recommended by a lot of people who hadn't been in elections. It was something that felt good to them. Let me give some consideration, like I said. Well, if we were to come in January and get moving, then you're talking about tonight, do we want to, what specific information you want from us tonight if we want to get moving in January?
So I would assume it kind of helps drive the timeline, because if we're looking at a special election, then we should probably have that facilitator kicking off in February or March after you have appointed the board and chosen the facilitator. So, if you're looking at a 2025 election, you need to get started in February or March.
And I get it. So what happens is, if we do this, is the concern that we started it in 26, we'd still be in the charter review during a primary election in 26?
It would come up before the voting on the charter review would be on the 26th ballot.
I see what you're saying. Okay, so I got it.
So it now defers
So it
to
would
28.
defer to the 28. So what is it that you would want from us now in terms of January? I mean, I can go ahead and be ready to give my recommendations and thoughts. Did you want to do that tonight, or?
No, I'm just looking for direction so I know what to move forward in January. So I can bring a resolution establishing the board. You could vote on that. You could either do appointments then or wait till January 28th, because January 28th, you
Okay.
could pick a facilitator.
I see.
So that's,
I see. Okay. So I have no problem with you coming in January and we at least get the process moving. That gives us options.
Is there consensus for that?
Yeah, I'd like to see the board get established as soon as possible. Yeah.
Very good, I concur. All right, so Carrie, 4 of the 5, and I'm not speaking for Commissioner Perrine, but at least you've got at least 4 of us who know which direction we want to go. And so you'll be prepared at the first meeting to get something cooking, yeah?
correct.
Okay, very good. Thank you for that, I think. Anything else?
No, that's all.
Okay, very good. Mr. City Manager, anything from you, sir?
Yes, sir. I just wanted to wish you, the commission, the best for the holiday season, as well as the citizens. Also, wanted to take this opportunity to give a shout out to our employees. They work very hard, and as I get to know them, I'm more and more impressed. They'll have a couple of days off at Christmas, unless they're police and fire emergency. They'll have to continue to work and serving the citizens. But they do a fabulous job, and I want them to know personally how much I appreciate the work that they do for the city, and how proud I am to have been chosen to lead this organization. I appreciate that every day, and I don't take it for granted. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you, sir. Any other follow-up? Now we're adjourned. See you next year.